Yep.
And we have another one. This
one is probably for a lot of the people here probably the biggest one.
Yeah. Tony Todd, an actor who played the killer in Candyman. Well,
that's right. That's right. He did.
Killer. It was something more than a killer in that movie, and appeared in the Final Destination franchise and Platoon, among more than 240 film and TV credits spanning 40 years.
A lot of Star Trek appearances.
Died November 6th at his home in Los Angeles. He was 69. Yeah, I was talking to you about that on Friday.
Yeah.
He actually played an adult version of Jake Sisko on DC.
Yes, he did.
They did one of these episodes where, like, Jake lived his life and became older, but was trying to fix something that got wrong in the past, and then he fixed it, and it kind of reset everything. We don't have the old Jake Sisko anymore. There's like a time travel thing, but he played like what Jake Sisko was going to be as an adult, basically. But his reps confirmed the news to Deadline, but did not provide a cause of death. Born on December 4th, 1954 in Washington, D.C., Todd pursued acting at the Eugene O'Neill National Actors Theater Institute and Trinity Rep Conservatory, where he honed his skills and developed his commanding style. Among his first screen roles was playing the heroin-addicted Sergeant Warren in Oliver Stone's Best Picture Oscar-winning Vietnam War classic Platoon.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Todd went on to guest on such popular 1980s and 90s series as 21 Jump Street, Night Court, MacGyver, Matlock, Jake and the Fat Man, Law and Order, The X-Files, NYPD Blue, Beverly Hills 90210, Xena Warrior Princess, and Murder, She Wrote, and Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. He also recurred as the pesky TV news reporter Matt Rhodes on Homicide: Life on the Street, and as Gus Rogan in more than a dozen 2013 episodes of The Young and the Restless. Okay. Oh, he was on The Young and the Restless. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All the while, Todd continued to act for the big screen. He appeared in 1980s dramas Lean on Me, Colors, and Charlie Parker biopic Bird, starring Ward Forrest Whitaker. His best known film roles came during the following decade. The 6'5" Todd starred in the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead as Ben, the role played by Dwayne Jones and George Romero's iconic 1968 original. His next big role is likely his most famous, playing the mythical title creep with a hook for a hand in Candyman, a character reprised for two sequels in 1995 and 1999.
Yep.
And that's a classic horror movie. I do recommend it. I believe based on a Clive Barker story, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. And he suffered for the role. He got a good number of bee stings, including inside his mouth, performing that role.
That's dedication. Yes. Tony Todd was the Vincent Price of our time. He will be deeply missed. Rest in peace.
That's a great analogy, actually. Right. Yes.
He is, because he's perfectly fine-looking man, but he was one of these actors that could do the creature roles.
Not only did he do a lot of horror, right, and he could play very, very creepy, but he was also a prolific voice actor.
Yep.
He had that, you recognize that voice, again, just like Vincent Price, right? And he was also able to play very kind, sympathetic roles as well. Again, just like Vincent Price.
His Ben character in Live and Dead remake is very sympathetic because, of course, he's agitated Mr. Cooper. But when he goes down and sees Mr. Cooper's daughter who's bit and the wife there in the basement, he actually is very sympathetic to their plight. He's not, this is Cooper's wife and kid. No, he actually feels very bad. And he's like, we're going to try to get them out of here because he knows that it's probably bad that his daughter was bit, So it's not...
Right.
There's some nuance in that character in that version of the movie. Of course, Dwayne Jones's portrayal was also excellent, but I just
exactly.
But no, rest in peace. This kind of came as a shock. I keep thinking Tony Todd, was he a DC animated voice actor? Because
he was.
He had to have been in something.
Let me see. One thing I did want to mention before we move on, a role that obviously was overlooked by this article. Another Star Trek role, at least I consider it to be a Star Trek role. He played Admiral Ramirez in Axanar, which has yet to be released. I know, it's still out there. It's supposed to get released any day, right? This is the third major actor from that that we've lost. We've lost Richard Hatch, and we lost Gary Graham. Now we've lost Tony Todd. I'm wondering if J.G. Hertzler is going to still be with us by the time they get this damn show put together and put out there. Sorry, just smoke from another fire. I feel pretty strongly about that.
It's fine, but you can still. I've seen it, and I think you sent it to me myself, and it was very good.
Yeah, the Prelude to Exonar is great. He's got this really great speech in it, so I am kind of looking forward to what he might do. But
he has played the voice of Darkseid.
Darkseid, that's
later
right.
Animated. Michael Ironside also played the voice of Darkseid in the classic.
He did the voice of Venom for Spider-Man 2, the video game.
The voice of
Venom.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He did the voice of Zoom in The Flash, the TV series.
Oh, right. Okay.
I have no idea who Scareglow is from Masters of the Universe, but that's a voice that he did as well.
Scareglow?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually he did Darkseid a number of times. Reign of the Supermen, and Justice League universe, Apocalypse,
didn't care as much for those, but nothing against his voice acting though, obviously. But
he did a lot. I'm just realizing there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have known him from because, either I don't play these games or, wasn't that into, like he did some Marvel. He did the voice of Blade in Marvel Superheroes Squad Online.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. But rest in peace. I mean, he is one of the legends of, he is one of these iconic horror actors.
And I should point out, his voice still lives on right now in Star Trek Online. He is the voice of Rodek, which is the name that Kern took after a certain storyline. But he plays Rodek in Star Trek Online, and you can still interact with that character in Star Trek Online.
He's still doing another role. It's in that new Indiana Jones game coming out.
Oh, that circle of
the
Great
heavy.
Circle.
Even though it has a certain German group in the game, I think he is actually a different villain, and he's like the major heavy in the game. I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got actually he has 11 projects still coming up. 10 plus that Indiana Jones. He's got Final Destination Bloodlines, which is in post-production. The Oath, I don't know what that is, 30 to 45, Tuesday's Flu, The Raven, Werewolf Game, The Witching Hour, Cigarettes and Coffee, Inventors, and The Pitchfork Retreat. These are all projects that are either in post-production or are completed. All coming out in 2020, late 2024, early or sometime in 2025.
Okay, cool. Oh,
so he is still not done working. My gosh.
Samuel Proctor thought you meant the old school Spider-Man 2 game for like the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox and GameCube. Not the new Spider-Man game on PlayStation 5.
Exactly, the PlayStation one, right.
It gets confusing. That was the Spider-Man 2 game based on the movie Spider-Man 2, which I enjoyed a lot. Because one of the first things you have to do, and you have to do all these different missions in the game, one of them is delivering a pizza on time. And when you deliver the pizza on time, it does that Italian song.
Cultural appropriations. I'm offended.
I know. Well, that's the thing. People didn't care about that stuff back in the early 2000s. People were able to just have fun with a fun video game.
Honestly, that is so on brand for Spider-Man. I probably would have laughed my butt off.
Yes. Oh, rest in peace, Tony Todd. Anything left to say about him?
No. Well, I mean, plenty I could continue to say, but let's go ahead and move on.
We'll be revisiting his movies and TV shows and
almost certainly, yes.
And I did like his role in those Final Destination movies. He played the Undertaker that would tell the teens about, no, you were supposed to die. and death's going to come after you now because it has to, because basically they interfered with the plan, and you're going to get some
that character was so enigmatic, right?
Yep.
Because for all intents and purposes, all he was like an undertaker, right? Or he worked in the morgue, right? The city morgue. But he was somebody who understood death, like beyond what you would expect, your average, mortician to know. It's like he knew it on a spiritual, mystical level, right?
Yeah.
And it did cause you to wonder, is he actually an avatar of death,
Interesting.
In fact, I didn't meet Tony Todd, but I was at a film premiere with him. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Candyman 2. Here in the Chicago suburbs. And he was up in the mezzanine and he gave a little thank you speech and whatnot. And I don't think he even stayed for the movie, to be honest with you.
He didn't.
But, seemed like a real nice guy, but, you got things to do, whatever. But the other thing that was great about, really all those Candyman movies, they were filmed here in Chicago. So for that Candyman 2, we actually knew one of the extras that was in the movie. So, yeah.
Cool. But apparently he had fun scaring Wesley Crusher.
Good.
On that note, rest in peace, Tony Todd. You'll always be with us, though. All right.
Absolutely.